Hi there, listener, and welcome to this special episode of the Ski Podcast, in which I chat with Alexis Pinterault, the most successful French skier in history. He has 34 World Cup wins, having made his debut at 17. He's been to 6 World Championships with 4 medals there, 3 Winter Olympics with 2 medals there. We talk about his background, how he was brought up in Courchevel and where he learnt to ski there. Also about how he almost ended up in a career in football, could have been playing in the World Cup final. And we talk about this season. The World Championships are going to be held in his hometown, Courchevel, the men's races there, and his aspirations for that. And we also talk about the event that he's organising in Courchevel in April, Winter Legacy. It was a real pleasure to talk to Alexis, so sit back and have a listen. I'm delighted to be joined by Alexis Pinterault. Hi Alexis, how are you? Perhaps I should be saying, comment ça va?
Comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci, et j'espère que vous aussi.
Excellent. Well, we will conduct this in English for the benefit of our listeners. Whereabouts are you right now, Alexis?
At the moment, I am in Austria preparing the next race, which is Alta.
Right, and you've just come from Val d'Isère. I think you came 5th in Val d'Isère, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, how did you feel that race, went for you?
Yeah, that was it was a special race, especially that the first slalom of the year. It's always pretty complicated to know where you're exactly in this discipline. Of course, it's pretty tricky, and the conditions are always pretty tough and pretty hard. So that makes a complete slalom for the first of the year, but it's also a quite challenging race, I would say.
It's great to have you on. Obviously, this is the start of your season. I know that you have 34, I think I'm right in saying 34 World Cup wins under your belt now. So hopefully there'll be some more of those to come this season. You've been to 3 Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games, 6 World Championships. But I guess you will be excited about this winter because the World Championships in 2023 are going to be held in Courchevel-Meribel. And that effectively is your hometown, right?
Yeah, that will be really special. The World Championships are always something really special, but when it is to your hometown, it's something unbelievable. So I really want to take this time to honor it and having fun the whole 2 weeks, I would say.
So the races themselves for your races will be in Courchevel. The finish area is going to be in Le Prat. I'm guessing you have skied on that slope down into Courchevel-Le Prat many times. Have you raced down there before?
Yeah, many times that's not correct. Yeah, because most of the time I was not going there. That's a pretty new slope, which will completely be new for me. Of course, this slope was existing, but not exactly like it will be for the World Championship. And I never trained there. I never raced there. The only race I made was last winter at the end of the season, which was a test event for all the ski racers. So I don't have any advantage, even it's really special to hear this, but that's really the case. Yeah, I never skied there, only free skiing a few times or a couple of times in my whole life.
Right, okay, because I think I'm right in saying that you are very local. I think you were born in Moutier and did most of your skiing when you were younger in Courchevel because your family are from the region, is that right?
Right, that's right, yeah.
And do they own a hotel maybe in Courchevel?
Yes, that's right. So since I'm born, my grandfather, he built an hotel in Courchevel. He bought 2, he built 2, sorry. And then my father is running then just 1 hotel and my aunt was running the second hotel. So I grew up in Courchevel in the family hotel my whole life. And now I'm more on the circus and away from Courchevel, but it's still my hometown.
You learned to ski on the slopes of Courchevel. Would you have been skiing down, I don't know, Pralong, like a lot of people do when they're taking their first turns?
Yeah, Pralong was the first slope where I skied. It's a really easy slope where you can learn properly, and that's where I start, yeah.
Right. And I heard, or I think I read somewhere, that when you were younger, you were very talented at football as well, and maybe had to choose between football and skiing. If things had gone the other way, might you be in Les Bleus on their way to winning another World Cup?
Yeah, Les Bleus is maybe a lot to say, but yes, I had to choose between soccer and skiing, and that was for me something really special. Um, I think I felt always better on the individual sport because you're the onlyest athlete who is failing or successing when you are competing, and that's, I think, more coming to my character.
Okay. What sort of position did you play at football?
I was in the middle defense.
Okay. And were you playing like for Moutier or one of the teams in that area?
Yeah, in this area, I was more close to Annecy, where they have better soccer club.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And you started skiing then, as a professional, very young, because I think you were junior world champion in 2009. So you were skiing on the World Cup circuit at a very young age, maybe 17?
17, right? The first World Cup I made, I was 17 exactly.
Yeah, which is, I think very young for a skier to start, because typically, skiers tend to mature in their career. Was it quite strange being, I don't know, half people's age when you were first racing on the circuit?
No, I would not say it's strange. Of course, you feel that there is a huge gap still between what you are doing at this age and what you should achieve in the future. So I think I took this time like a really valuable experiences time. And it took for me more or less 1 year to get my first worker point, which was still pretty good. And then I could make many other things afterwards.
Well, certainly that has happened because, as we're speaking today, I think I'm right in saying that you are the most successful French skier in history in terms of wins. You're certainly the third French skier to have won the Crystal Globe, where you were the overall World Cup champion in 2021 and also second in 2019 and 2020 as well. If you had the opportunity to choose between a medal or a gold medal in your hometown at the World Championships, or to become the Crystal Globe champion, if you had to choose one of those two, which would you go for?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I would say it depends what I achieve for. Of course, at the time we are speaking of, I would say that the gold medal at my hometown would be for sure something unbelievable, and I will definitely sign for it. But I won already the overall globe, so that makes it easier. And if it never happened before, then maybe I would say or answer something really different. But at the moment, I would say fully 100% on the side for the gold medal in Courchevel.
Right. Well, those World Championships are coming up. All the men's events are going to be held in Courchevel. All the women's events are going to be in Meribel. And I think they are being held between the 9th and the 19th of February. So they will obviously be a key event during the course of the season. Once those are out the way and the World Cup season comes to a close, I was also interested to see that you've set up your own event, which is going to be held in Courchevel in April, on the 7th of 8th of April, called Winter Legacy. And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about that. What is that? What is Winter Legacy about?
So it's a race event which is open for all of us, for everybody who is able to ski, I would say, in all kind of slopes. So it's pretty convenient and easy, I would say. And that's the goal. The goal is to share a special day with a lot of people, from kids to grandfathers or grandmothers. And that's actually the atmosphere that we want to have in our event and on my event. So then the second goal was also to make or to bring something which is really characteristic for me. I'm a special athlete who is racing in many different disciplines. So I'm racing in GS, I'm racing in slalom and super G, but also I'm doing some downhill sometimes. And the goal was then to bring a lot of different discipline in once. So in one race. And that's actually how come up Winter Legacy. So doing one race with one run and starting with one discipline and mixing with some others and going through to the finish line with mixing disciplines and having fun with a lot of friends, family and kids, but also older people.
I have to say that I kind of love the idea of that. I do quite a lot of triathlons, so I like to, try lots of different things. In that case, it's swimming, cycling, and running. Although I did do an event in Courchevel last year, Dina-Star X3, I think it is. So you cycle.
Yeah, I know.
You know that. You cycle from the roundabout up to 1850, then you do a trail run around 1850, and then you ski tour to the top of Solia. But your event, where does it start then and finish?
It's starting at the top of the downhill from the World Championship, and it will end at the end of the stadium, Émile Allais Stadium. So at the end of the regular World Cup that the women have.
Yeah, I understand where it is. In the main racing stadium in Courchevel, and you're starting from near the top in Col de la Loze. And what are the different, you mentioned then, it wants to reflect your characteristics, which is that you take on lots of different disciplines. So if someone enters this, what are the different elements that they're going to come across?
We are starting 4x4, but with always a lot of place in between the courses, which makes there is normally a GS which is set. The GS, there is 3 different GS, so it's really easy to find your way, and you never have to fight with another skiers. That's not really the goal. Then there is a super G as well. There is a border cross in the middle section, and then they will have some moguls slopes as well in the middle of the course, and we are finishing by crossing the finish line with a water skiing. Yeah, it has to be fun, it has to be competitive, and that's the best way we found to make and to bring all this emotion in once.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. So I'm going to start off from the top in a 4x4, a bit like a ski across or a border cross. Take some GS gates, then maybe move down into a border cross, which will be like bank turns or something like that. Maybe some rollers, coming into some moguls, flying my way through the moguls. And then once I've done all of that in one go, at the bottom, there's a little lake that I need to ski across.
Yes, that's right. Correct.
It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. You said, for the family. I noticed as well, you can enter it as an individual or you can enter it as a team.
As well, yeah. And also as a family. That's the goal. Of course, that's the second year we are doing this event, so everything has to set up and to build up. But you can compete at the moment 4x4, or you can compete individually against 3 others, but it doesn't matter. The 3 others, the goal then and the aim then is time.
Yeah, well, it sounds brilliant. And I think I'm right in saying that it kind of fits in with the Folie Douce Festival, which is going on around the same time.
Yes, that the Folie Douce Festival is fitting then on the afternoon and overnight too. And that's the reason why we made also this arrangement. So after the race, then you can enjoy a party for the older one and having a great weekend, I would say.
Yeah, well, it sounds tremendous, and I haven't actually made my plans yet for April, so maybe I'll be able to come out to that. That would be tremendous. So, really, it's obviously going to be a big season for you. I know that you have a book that has come out recently, I think, translated. Yes. I think the title is From Gold to Crystal. Now, I know you've won a couple of gold medals at the World Championships already, and you've obviously won the Crystal Globe. But hopefully, by the end of this season, you'll be able to rename it and call it From Gold to Crystal and back to gold. And you can bring home a gold from Courchevel as well. I really appreciate that, Alexis. Thank you so much for your time today. I wish you all the best for all of the World Cup season, but particularly for Courchevel for the World Championships in February.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I really enjoyed speaking with Alexis. You might be interested to know that his book, From Gold to Crystal, is currently only available in French, Italian and German, but I believe there are plans to translate it into English as well. So at some point, if you want to read his book, you will be able to. In the meantime, we wish him all the best for the World Championships, which are going to take place in Courchevel-Meribel from the 6th of February to the 19th of February 2023. And you'll be able to follow updates about that at the Ski Podcast, which I'd like to remind you is sponsored by Les Travées, the largest ski area in the world. Our next episode will be out in around a week's time, just before Christmas. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Ski Podcast. In the meantime, listener, thank you for listening, and until next time, goodbye.